Well, good morning. We are glad that you joined us, and we are here talking about holiday scams. We're actually going to do the 12 scams Christmas. And my name is Jason. I'm with the Better Business Bureau. The name of our Better Business Bureau is actually the Better Business Bureau Serving the Fall Line Corridor. Now, we came up with that name because we have offices in Augusta, Macon, and Columbus, and that was known as the Fall Line. And we actually serve over 77 counties, over 47,000 businesses, and over 2.5 million consumers. And it seems like we're always doing something. There's always something going on, and we cannot do it by ourselves because we have some wonderful friends. And one of our friends is, it's Mr. Sean Conroy. And Mr. Sean, will you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Hey, thank you, Jason. And we appreciate the Better Business Bureau inviting us to this holiday scam webinar. And Jason said it, in consumer protection, it takes a number of players to working together to help stop scams and protect consumers. And so at the Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division, we're the state level consumer protection law enforcement organization, and we enforce a number of consumer protection laws, including the Fair Business Practices Act. We have counselors available for consumers to contact Monday through Friday. And we, on our website at consumer.ga.gov, you can learn more about us as well. Our phone number, and we'll probably give this out again later in the program, is 404-651-8600. So what we try to do at our office is investigate complaints when they're in the public interest. We don't represent individual, and we get about 18 to 20,000 complaints a year. We have a staff of about 45 people, investigators, lawyers, counselors that again talk to consumers. So we also place consumer information on our website. We have a program called Ask Consumer Ed where we answer consumer questions twice a month from real consumers, and so that's our organization in a nutshell. And I'll pass it back to you, Jason.
Well, it's always funny to me when people say, what do you do at the Better Business Bureau? And I always say, well, a lot. And because the Better Business Bureau tends to act like a funnel or an intake, and we get it. And what we do is, with these great friends like Sean at the Attorney General's, Consumer Protection Division, we're able to say, hey, it needs a greater look. It needs a state level investigation. And so we're able to push it up to him. But then when we need to go, more with a federal level, then we call our friend Anna. And Anna's always been a great friend to our Better Business Bureau. And so would you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure, Jason. And just to echo Sean, we always appreciate partnering with the Better Business Bureau as well as the State Attorney General's office. We can't do our work without our great partners. And so we just appreciate being invited to be here today and to hear from everyone about what they're seeing in regards to scams, because the Federal Trade Commission's mission is to stop unfair or deceptive acts or practices in the marketplace. And that runs the gamut from anything from robocalls to frauds to some of the scams we're going to talk about today to nationwide false advertising. I do have to give a standard disclaimer before we begin that any views I express today are my own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Commission or any of the individual 5 commissioners. But I look forward to talking with everybody and getting some great information out there about how people can protect themselves from some of the scams we're going to be talking about today.
So with these different scams, we're calling it the 12 scams of Christmas. And I can promise you that a scammer is not your true love. So he's not going to be bringing you, 2 turtle doves. But what I can tell you is that the organizations that you would turn to for relief during scams or for help with scams or to, what we would prefer to be educated before you ever fall for a scam is the Better Business Bureau, the Attorney General's Office, the Consumer Protection Division, and the Federal Trade Commission. So what we're doing is we're bringing all three of them to you. On the third day of Christmas, our scammers brought to us one that's popular and one that's still going around. It's the grandparent scam.
Yes, this is a scam that we all need to be aware of and also talk to our relatives about, our loved ones, about the grandparent scam. With social media, the ability to learn who you are related to has grown so much over the years. So scam artists, con artists, criminals, they will look up who the grandson, the granddaughter is. This can happen with other family members, and the grandparent gets a call, and purportedly it's from a grandson or granddaughter saying, I'm in some type of trouble. I've been in an accident. I'm stranded at the train station. I need money. And can you send it to me? And traditionally what's happened is that money, what was asked from the victim is to send it, wire it, buy a gift card, provide some sort of financial information about a bank account. A new twist that we're hearing about is someone will say, I will send a courier to your home and physically pick up the cash that you will have for your relative. And so citizens need to be aware that their information is out there. Be very careful with what they share on social media, and make sure your privacy settings are set where only the people that you choose to look at your profiles on the various web platforms are available. And even if you do that, be aware that the information about who you are related to is out there.
And you want to piggyback on to that? And anything you want to add about the grandparent scam?
Sure. As Sean said, and with so many of these scams, it's great to get the word out so that people know what the scam is and how they can avoid being taken in by it. So if you are the loved one or trusted friend of an older American, let them know that you are a resource that they can call to do a gut check, and let them know to do their own gut check. So these scammers prey on the fact that these are usually being sold as emergency situations. My loved one is in jail, my loved one is sick. Especially with the pandemic, we often hear about people say, your loved one is in a hospital, et cetera. Let them know that it's okay to pause. Let them know that it's okay to call you so that they can talk it out and that they can check with you as well to see if this just makes sense or whether or not they're being taken in.
Yeah, Anna, you said it right. And sometimes these calls come at 2 o'clock in the morning. And so preparing for that to happen at that time when you're caught by surprise and there's a sense of urgency, that education, being aware that this is going on, is really helpful in those situations.
Well, and, I'll piggyback onto that as well. A lot of seniors, with all the information we're telling you about scams, typically we're reporting on a quarter of the actual scams that are happening. Because what we've seen is, on average, only 26% of victims tend to report what's happened to them because, they're embarrassed, they're ashamed. But the greatest thing I've seen, especially with our seniors, is they're worried that this is going to give ammo to somebody else to take over their decision-making ability. And I've seen that a lot with seniors. And it's tough, but you guys remember back when it was okay to smoke at Burger King. And now if you light a cigarette up in Burger King, things, people go crazy. the reason why I say that is because we haven't even crested the potential of the internet. And so we're all learning together, but please don't give into that lie that, hey, your decision-making ability will be taken from you. Just stop and talk with somebody, because scammers get you with urgency, and it happens often.